Hello. Oh, wait, no, my mic's not ready. Hello, and welcome back to the finishing line. I forgot about me mic. And we are here today to talk about Irish Champions Weekend, and we'll take a little detour to Haydock to talk about the only exciting flat horse all year, Big Shack.
How are you going to say this off anyway?
Big Shack. We convinced Sean. Took a long time. Didn't back him three times, and he's finally on board now this time.
That's because he's odds on.
Odds on done. How are you, Andrew?
I am tired, Dave, to be honest.
I'm tired too. It's hard working in this heat and
it's very hard.
Playing golf and then coming in and doing all the bits and pieces. And Sean, how are you?
Great, yeah, buzzing. Looking forward to this weekend. I'm heading up to Leopardstown, so Champions Weekend always delivers great racing. And
yeah, it's a good weekend. Pity some of the bigger French 3-year-olds are not coming over, but look, we.
Yeah, ça va.
Before we get going, we'll cross the T's and dot the I's and do all that jazz. Thanks as ever to our sponsor, Glistian Events. We've talked a little bit the last couple of shows about their black and gold memberships. Andrew has a graphic here, and it has everything you need to know about the black and gold memberships on the syndicate, and that includes the horse Bob, who looks a nice animal indeed.
Bob is nice in the syndicate. And
of course, there's 10% off with the code finishing line 10. The finishing line 10. Speaking of Glistian, they give out some free tickets to the Irish Open, and they have all been sent out this afternoon. A couple of people were on to me asking about them, but they were waiting to get them. And hold up for a second.
Oh, look at that.
Sorry, that was bothering me.
It was fun.
Shame. A bit anal about the pictures there, but it was bothering me. They've all been sent out this evening. If you have not received them, please.
Only person that we don't have an email for is Noel Connor. If you're watching, email vip@glistianevents.com or DM our Twitter page, and we'll get it straight over to Cliff and the lads, and it'll be sorted for you.
Slide into the DMs there, and we'll hook you up. Slide in slowly. That's what I prefer. Anyway.
Sorry, what?
None.
You like it? Sliding in slowly. Hold up, this.
Also,
whoa.
That's evidently a lie.
Don't diss it till you try it and all that jazz, isn't it?
Also, Tom is on holidays. Pablo
Rain.
Tom's either drunk or on holidays. We've come to the conclusion that Sean has nicknamed him Pablo Rain.
I nicknamed him Pablo Rain.
And it seems better. Sean is just pushing it more. See, if you don't,
every second sentence in the group, I call him Pablo.
If you don't push it, I don't think you when you push it, it becomes your thing.
All the best ideas come from me. You just rob them all.
Blogger being annoying. He pushed being annoying on people, so now that's his thing.
Any other things you want to push that's been annoying you?
No, why?
He knows I'm on well.
What's annoying me? Tom's not here.
Not Tom. Tom's Tom. We love Tom.
The weather?
No, it's okay.
COVID?
No.
Anyway, Tom is on holidays.
In Colombia.
I think he's gone to the Cayman Islands. But we will get a selection from Tom, and we'll all have a selection. And again, we are going to do our Lucky 15 for the stable staff give back, which will accumulate through the year if we get some winners. Last week was fucking terrible.
How much we made?
No, zero.
175.
Well, look, 175 is better than no 75. There's €300 in the pot there anyway. We are all throwing in money. Glistian has some money in there. So whatever happens, the lads out in Henry's will get a few crates of Heineken or whatever they want to do with that. But we're going to try. Huh?
Jason.
Jason, you're welcome. we're going to try again, and at some stage this year we'll hit something. We might
The
get
jumps will be
we
grand.
might get 2 winners or 3 winners in Lucky 15, and if you do, you make some cash.
We have €301.75.
Yes.
Jeez, lad, you want to pull your socks up and start getting them winners out?
All right,
I might make a rule actually that you can't pick an odds on shot, because you're just going to fucking annoy me all year if you do. I might actually make that rule. It was my idea.
He was about 7-2.
It was my idea, and
I just put it in the rules.
yeah,
No
I can add some rules to
on
that. Like,
shots. That was a great idea, by the way.
This is a constant evolving thing here. It is Irish Champions weekend. It's a great weekend. Leopardstown's a great track.
It is.
Don't forget, with Glistian on board and the events part of their business, they have trips to numerous places, but they're getting involved with Cheltenham and Dublin Racing Festival. Exclusive offers there, 5% off each package with the finishing line, 5. And just look, we've said it a few times. Look, Cheltenham is what it is. It's amazing. Everyone should go to Cheltenham once if you're into racing. It's an amazing experience, and you walk in and it feels like something completely different to any other track. But Leopardstown Dublin Racing Festival is a sensational 2 days. Well worth going. It's good value for money. They don't overburden you with the price of drink. You can get a bet on, and then you can come and party with us in the Clayton Hotel. I'll be in bed at 10. Andrew will be still up. Sean doesn't drink, but I guarantee you Tom will be drunk.
The teetotaler there, unless you throw a baby Guinness in front of him.
Sorry,
just to touch on the packages. They are working on a tiered variety of packages, so that will be coming soon. So they have your low to middle to high to VIP. So they're working on that side of things. So it will be good once they have it done. But there is packages there already if you want to inquire at vip@glistianevents.com. Back to you, David Studio.
Right, so we'll kick on with the racing. We're going to go 2 races at Haydock first. Regards to racing this weekend, all the time we see it at Cheltenham and other festivals. There's lots of favourites in these weekends that get turned over. So bear that in mind when you're having a bet this weekend. It's a big weekend. There's a lot of money on store, a lot of prize money. So don't be surprised if a big prize winner pops up. In the Matron the last couple of years, there's been heavy favourites and they've been beaten. Alpha Centauri was beaten by Lawrence. The Homeless Songs was beaten last year. So it's never a surprise when a big prize winner wins this weekend. I wouldn't laugh at anybody for having a Trixie or something, big prices, and you might make money. So it's pretty much like Cheltenham. Anything can happen. Every horse is primed to run their race because the prize money is so good and the prestige of the race. But we're off to Haydock first, and the first race is the 1350. It is the best odds on the Betfair Exchange Superior Mile Stakes Group 3. Light Infantry is favourite 5-2, Chindit 9-2, Aldari 5-1, Mutasabek 11-2, Zoology 11-2, and 8-1 bar. Andrew, any fancy in this?
I'm going to take a chance with Regal Reality at about 9-1. Ran right up to his recent best last time out with Salisbury, beating a half length when he's finishing strong at the end. He was nearest to finish. He's a multiple winner at this grade. This is his kind of race, and he's rated one of the top in it. He's given away a bit of weight as well, but I think he's well capable of giving that away, and he obviously can hold his own in this kind of grade. On the basis of the back of his last run, I think he has a massive chance of 8-9-1 in what is a wide open betting heat.
Sean?
Yeah, I think like Infantry I'm gonna go with here, but I think he could be a cut above these. He's the best rating in the race at 116. He showed good form, placed in 3 grade 1s this season. The massive trick here is drop back down to grade 3 class. This is definitely the weakest field he's taken on in a while. To get his head back in front, I'd say no doubt is what it's for. He also carries no penalty, so he's in here on that 9 stone 5 pound, where the likes of Mutasabek has to carry the 5 extra pounds. I think that'll be the difference of turning that form from when they ran back earlier in the season. Drop down, as I said, his biggest danger would be Mutasabek, I'd say. But I think the penalty that Mutasabek has to carry, and Aldari's also in there as well, I think he runs best on soft ground. I don't think you'll see him at his best on quicker ground. And I kick off a light infantry who I think might be just too good for these. Drop back down in class. I think he's going to relish it.
Mutasabek for me is a horse to catch first time out and at Newmarket. There's a couple of back end races as well. He tends to run okay on, but he's a Newmarket horse. Newmarket has turned into a real good front runner's track, especially that straight course. So I'll be totally against him. He has won at Haydock before, but I just think Newmarket is where his winning is done these days. Don't like light infantry. Chindit is what he is. I take a chance with the 3-year-old that was second in the Jersey at Royal Ascot Zoology. Strange one. Age of Kings won that race, trained by Aidan O'Brien, and he's now trained by James Ferguson. Don't know why. Aidan's horse is gone. Yeah. And Zoology was trained by Ferguson then when he was second, and now he's trained by Harry Eustace. So I don't know what happened there. But he's a very big horse by Zoostar. I think he's by Zoostar. Yes. Taking a bit of time to grow into himself. I would be hoping by the back end of the year he can turn into a decent horse. So I'll take a chance with him, but not a strong fancy. On to the 335 at Haydock. The Group 1 Betfair Sprint Cup Stakes, part of the British Champion Series. Shack is 5-6, Kinross 5-1, Spycatcher 9-1, Millstream 10-1, Sacred 11-1, Run to Freedom 12-1, and 12-1 Lazoo 14-1 Bar. I'll take this first because Shack has been just brilliant for me all season, to be quite honest. He's won me so much money. If he never won again, I wouldn't be too sad. But I just think he's miles clear of the sprinters in England at the moment. The fact that he can blow the start and still win is incredible for Group 1 sprinters to give away the ground that he gives away. And he does so much wrong in the race. You shouldn't be able to pull as hard as he does, still have the energy to keep going at the end. He does get 7 furlongs, so maybe that's why, but it just seems to be a bit of an enigma. And I think the fact that he blows the start has
makes it more lovable.
Lent to people loving him more. Trained by Julie Camacho. The stable's actually not in great form at the moment. That's a bit of a worry, but usually with these stars, when they're in small stables, they'll do the job anyway. I said Regional would run a decent race in the Nunthorpe. I think he'll run a decent race again here if it's good to firm. I can see Regional coming second, so him each way. But look, I just hope Shaq wins. I think he's class.
Yeah, all about Shaq. Another jockey, James Dial's on this time.
He won him on his first race of the season, so
then.
He's actually his jockey.
I'm not saying he's going to be beat any stretch of imagination. Wouldn't it be just like something like that happened, that he will actually break this time and lose?
Yeah,
it'd be something mad and stupid will happen like that.
I see. He's won at the track, and like the only bad run in his whole entire life was the second run of his life where they pulled him too hard over York at 7 furlongs. Just it got the better of him.
Just leave him bowl along now.
Oh, absolutely.
Instead of trying to who rode him last time?
It was Ross O'Ryan, Oisin, and James Doyle.
What he done to Ross? Ross he pulled the shoulders out of his sockets, but what was it? Not even halfway through, just let him go. Do you just leave him go, or do you need to hold on to him, try to conserve something? He's going to win, by the way. I'm just putting out scenarios.
Sorry, I said he won at Haydock. It was Newbury at the start of the season. But look, you just got to let him he does all the racing, so just leave him do it. Sit on top of him and just...
Can't fight that like that, really, can
No.
you? No. But yeah, I think he wins. He'll probably win well again. I think he's been putting in phenomenal performances, doing what he's been doing, missing the break, pulling like an absolute tinker, and then just going on. The mad thing is, he kicks at the finish again. He goes away from it at the finish. Mm-hmm. They use up so much energy to try to go with him that they've nothing left, and he just kicks away again. I think he's something phenomenal. I just hope he doesn't lose the madness. Like something like Florian Porter. He lost his madness and he lost the spark then.
I think there's a good chance we'll see him next year as well. I know people give out about the good horse being retired to stud. But his boy, Charm Spirit, who wouldn't be the most sexy sire in the world. Shaq is probably the best horse he's ever produced. And I'm sure there'll be some bidding along the way between Godolphin and Coolmore and whoever else for Shaq.
How old is he?
3.
Your mic is too far away.
Sorry,
First
thanks,
thing.
Connor.
He's 3, but I reckon there's a very big chance we'll see him as a 4-year-old in all the big sprints next year again. Group
old
1
is he?
sprints. He's 3-year-old.
3. This thing, and I said it before, sprinters. I think the older they're going to get, the better they will be. It's just like Highfield Princess. The older she got, the better she got, because they grow more and they gain more
generally.
muscle.
Like, I'm sure the owner will have a lot of offers to go to stud, but with the trainer and the sire, his boy, there's a very big chance he'll be staying training next year. Sean?
Yeah, as you touched on, I wasn't the biggest fan at the start of the season now, and it took until the Commonwealth Cup where he took me. That was a freak performance. Then he went on to Newmarket to take on the older horses in the July Cup, and I'd say that was another freak performance. Like, he took off after a furlong, and like nothing could go with him. Absolutely nothing could go with him. The amount of lengths he made up so quickly was ridiculous, and you're saying to yourself, geez, he's gone very fast. What was he holding on to? But then he was asked for the question, across the line, and he just pulls out again and pulls away, pulling away from Kinross, who stays further and has gone on to subsequently win 2 Grade 2s. Also, Art Power in behind's gone on and won at the Curragh. And then you had Cadden back in 50, who he's taken on again. Cadden missed the next highest rated in. He's 3 pounds below him. Other than that, I think it's a bang average group of sprinters. I think he's a smart one among a bang average group. My only word would be, as you've touched on, it's the starting stalls. But apparently he's been working with Whitterford and they think they have a solution to this. So if he's jumping off on par and not giving away 2 or 3 lengths anymore, you put 1 and 1 together, I think he's going to be 2 or 3 lengths better, and that only makes him more rock solid to be winning this.
Would you send him Breeders' Cup?
No.
No.
I would next year. No, I'd leave him win now at Haydock, and then I'd put him away for the rest of the season.
He just seemed to be the horse that could actually go to Americans at the start.
But on a bend, the only problem is
he'd be grand.
He could.
Yeah.
The bad performance he had was when he was 7th. I think it was 7 furlongs at York around the bend. So he might have went too fast around the bend. But I'd try and win Saturday. If it's big deal to Julie Camacho to have a horse of his caliber. Leave him try and win the weekend. That's 3 Group 1s in a row. Solidifies that he's the best sprinter in England. He'll win that award. He won a Group 2 at start of the year. And then put him away till next year. I wouldn't even worry about British Champions Day, and I wouldn't worry about France. I wouldn't worry about any of that.
I wonder, could Abbey be right up history? I think in Abbey you could see the best of him. Like, what's that, 4.5 furlongs where they just literally drop the reins and say go, and favour something that they can favour something that can go on the pace.
No, told Tom the last 4 years running, the Abbey is won by the draw. Forget the Abbey. It's a terrible race.
1 to 5.
Huh?
1 to 5.
On?
No. Stalls.
Yeah, you have to be drawn low in the Abbey. You don't win. It's one of the worst races of the whole year. We'll have a bet in it though, because yeah, just you can nearly discredit their prices, sure.
Yeah.
Just back to draw. But Shaq all around. Here's hoping he does the business.
Mill Street might run a good race.
Yeah, nice horse too. Yeah.
Fill places.
Okay, we're off to Leopardstown. 245, the Coolmore America Justify Matron Stakes, Group 1, Fillies and Mares. Justify has actually turned out to be a decent stallion. Group 1 over a mile. Tahira is 4-5 favourite. Zarinsk 6-1. Homeless Songs 10-1. Meditate 10-1. Above the Curve 12-1. Just Beautiful 12-1. 16-1 bar. Leopardstown, Sean.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Listen, you know my feelings about this filly Tahira. She's bred in the purple. She's bred to be good, and that's exactly what she is. I tried my best, as you touched on earlier. So many odds-on shots have been turned over in this race in the past. I tried my best, but I can't take her on. I think it's a bang average group in there. Like, she's taken on predominantly the 3-year-olds, maybe Rogue Millennium might come back over, and Homeless Song has been off the track since. She's also in the Boomerang. I wonder would they be splitting their two up and maybe not running in the same races. But she showed this season. She's 2 from 3. I think she was unlucky in the English Guineas, where I think she was just caught out for fitness against Maj, where she was a bit stronger in the finish. She went the Irish Guineas, she won. She beat Meditate, who she reopposes. She went to Ascot, she reopposed and Meditate again and won. They've given her a break, and I think this has been a plan for a while to freshen her up and bring her back for an autumn campaign. I think a horse like Zarinskin here is going to give her a perfect toe into the race. Meditate set the gallop the last time at Royal Ascot. I don't know if they'll be doing the same again here. Guaranteed a pace from Zarinsk. I think she'll sit in behind. Chris Hayes be hoping to slipstream something as long as he can into this straight and bring her out with a furlong to go. And I think she's going to kick away and show that she's the best horse in here.
She's a worthy favourite, but it's a race and a price that I would be going nowhere near to hear in it. Gerald Lyons actually targets this meeting, and he hasn't had the best year so far. Colin Keane's still getting his winners, but Gerald Lyons usually has a kind of a Group 1 caliber horse. Zarinsk has slowly come to the boil over the season. She runs Leopardstown actually very well. She's a front runner, and Colin Keane's rides Leopardstown very well. We've said a few times, Ryan can get caught at Leopardstown a bit. You can kick away on the bend if you get the fractions right. And I think Zarinsk has a really good chance of beating Tahira. On Racing Post rating, she's £4 to find. They're both 3-year-olds. You're getting 6 to 1 odd for her. A good each way bet. I know Tom would probably be on this each way. I think this is a Stonewall Tom Pablo Rain account closer bet. She'll be out in front because that's the way she does things. I think you know your fate coming around the bend if you're going to place or not, and then you're hoping she stays there. I think you can question Tahira's form. She's a lovely filly, but Meditate has been proven to not really have trained on. The horses that she beat at Royal Ascot, Remarque was absolutely battered in France. So I would take on Tahira and go with Zarinsk.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same vibe of taking on Tahira. As you said, the Ascot run, she won it. She didn't win it really impressively, but it was a good win. What she beat is what she beat was there. You said Meditate she beat twice already. I'm hoping they run Homeless Song here. She's a very good record at Leopardstown. She's 2 from 4 here. She beat Buckaroo at the start of the season. And if you go back to last year, she was one of the most impressive 1,000 Guineas winners Irish Guineas winners we've seen in a long, long time. If she comes back to her best, I think she'll be a massive player at 10 to 1, given her Leopardstown form. I think the form of Buckaroo is overlooked a lot. I think Buckaroo is a very, very good horse. We'll get on to him after. He was only recently beaten about quarter of a length in a Group 1 in France. But I think I hope they run it here and the ground will suit. She'll get a pace to aim at, and if she comes on the outside, she might go unnoticed a bit away from the main horses who would be battling away on the inside. I think she's bang on for a place. I think 10 to 1 is a very, very fair price for what she has achieved in her career so far. I know she's under par last time, but her record at Leopardstown and the fact she's coming in on a fresh horse as well, I think is going to play massively to her. I think Tahira, not the price I want to be going near, and especially in a race like this, as you said, lots of odds on shots have been turned over in this. So Homeless Song 10 to 1 each way. Okay.
320 at Leopardstown, which is the Royal Bahrain Irish Champion Stakes Group 1, 1 mile, 2 furlongs. King of Steel is favourite 94. Auguste Rodin 72. Excuse me. Onesto 11 to 2. Al Rifa 13 to 2. Al Fleila 7 to 1. Nashua 7 to 1 and 10 to 1 bar. Some of these are entered in other races as well, so it's probably not going to be as big as a field as it looks at the moment. But Andrew, who are you looking at here?
I really like the chances of King of Steel. Look, I love Auguste Rodin, but I find it very, very hard to back him on the back of what happened in the King George. King of Steel, he was third in it. I think that repeat of that run is good enough to beat what's here. Bolted up at Royal Ascot. was beaten a half a length in the Derby. He's a massive horse. He's one that's going to keep improving with age and with runs. He still looks green as grass when he hits the front. He doesn't really know what to do. I think he's a great price. I think 94 is a very, very fair price for what he is and what the improvement that can come with him. So I think he's going to be very, very hard to beat.
Sean?
Yeah, I respect King of Steel, but I'm keen to take on the two of them. Even a good throw down bouncing back. I wonder. I wasn't really satisfied with the Irish Derby win. And then he went and done what he done at Royal Ascot. Now, not Royal Ascot, Ascot and the King George. It was heavy ground, but I wonder is the hype when he's facing against all the horses now. I wonder if he's being found out. I look back to last year's race, and it was a good renewal. And I come down on the side of Ernesto. I think he ran a cracker that day. He got involved a little bit down the back too much, and I think the jockey, there was a French jockey on board. He tried to make up a couple of lengths down the back last year, and I think he might have used a bit of petrol, which when he came to the finish was out battled by Luxembourg. But he showed good form as a 3-year-old. He won the French. It's not the Derby, it's the Mile 4 one. What one? I can't remember the name of it because the Derby is the Prix de Jockey Club.
The Grand Prix de Paris.
That's the one. He won that race, and then so he showed good form as a 3-year-old. He's had a break. He then reappeared in the Prix Jacques Lamar this season on his first run, where he was fourth to Innsbruck. And if you go and have a look at that, he was a little bit outpaced at a vital stage. He got in the hustle and bustle, but then he came through with a late run, and he went all the way on for fourth, not too far behind, 3.5 lengths. I thought it was a very good reappearance after 259 days off the track. Stepping back up in trip. They have Frankie on board here. Frankie knows his way around that to win a couple of Champion Stakes. And I think it's going to be a big bonus to him. I could see him being hidden away, and Cumber's run. And I think he's being overpriced at 7-1. So I'll put him up each way.
Yeah, look, this is a hard race for me. I went through it a couple of times. And when Auguste Rodin was good, he's very good. But there's too many question marks for me now. I was happy to go with Luxembourg last year, but there's even more question marks about this chap. King of Steel, although I like him, if it's rattling fast ground, he's just such a big horse. I don't think it really fully suits him. And he's had now 3 very hard races this season. That race, the King George, was a tough race. Ernesto, I understand the selection of that. Some of the others, like Nashwa's, had so many races this season, hard races. It's just Alrifa stood out to me, Joseph's horse. He won the National Stakes last year. First race this season, he was injured. First race back, screamed like a horse that wasn't fit. And then ran Ace Impact close in Ace Impact's trial for the Arc the last time. Now, I don't think he's ever going to beat Ace Impact, but again, he ran like a horse that blew up and then ran on at the end. I'd love to see Ace Impact's form franked. He's had his 2 races, come second twice. He can be up there at the pace. I think he Leopardstown will suit him. I think he could be the one that's just hitting form at the right time. Others, after having hard races, he's coming there. I'd say Joseph had this as the plan all along after he got injured. And I think he's a good price at around 13-2. I'd take on the top of the market.
I think, yeah. I won't be worried about the ground about the big fellas at all.
Just them big horses. Just
his 2 best performances have been on good to form.
Yeah, it's just them big legs. My own legs are tired from walking the golf course on hard ground. So
yeah, put me calf. What the hell?
We are on to the 355, the Bollinham Park Stakes, Group 2, over a mile. Don't have betting here. We have Buckaroo, Victoria Road, 7-4 favourite. Buckaroo, Bold Discovery. I hate that horse. Just Beautiful, 7-1. Lord fuck off.
Lord
M, 8-1. I don't know. Power Under Me, 9-1. And there's many other 3-year-olds and rags in there along the way. I make it short and snappy. I think Victoria Road's a nice horse, but I think Buckaroo will win.
Good man, Dave. Yeah, Buckaroo probably might nap at the weekend. Look, really good form. He was third at Royal Ascot. That's been franked already by second Bochet Ballo, who has bolted up in America since. I know you can't really compare American form. Royal Champions beat a half length in a Group 2 of York. And the start of the season, he was beaten a snot by Homeless Song over course and distance. I think this 11-4, if you can still get 11-4, is a great price. I can see him going off favourite. I really like Buckaroo, like him since last year. I think this is right up his alley. Buckaroo for me all day long.
Sean?
Yeah, mine's a little bit more windy on now. Victoria Road was a bit of an unknown for me. I thought the run in France was a pipe opener, and I wouldn't be reading too much into it. But the bet for me was Buckaroo without Victoria Road. This would be one of my stronger bets of the weekend. We've no odds out at the moment. But I think he's a very strong stayer over a mile, and he gives the perception that he stays further, but he doesn't exactly. I don't think he gets home as close as he does over the mile. Like you've seen in France, he ran very well to Anma, but was closed in the last furlong. I think he just lacks the stamina, but stays the mile strong. As Andrew touched on, he's back to the mile for the first time since beating Homeless Songs earlier in the season, where he battled really well. He got into a ding-dong with her, and he made her ask the questions, and he got the better of the battle. I don't think it's a strong renewal, as I touched on. I think Victoria Road, if you take him out of the equation with the bet Madou, there's not much in there. He's beaten the likes of Power Under Me and the rest of those that are in there. I don't think they're a great bunch. And I think Buckaroo will be staying very strong to the line. I think he'd beat the rest. The unknown is Victoria Road. So take him out of the equation, and I'm going to go Buckaroo without Victoria Road.
Okay. 3 for Buckaroo. Last one on Saturday. The 4:30, a Group 3 over a mile and 4. Alazi, Lafayette, Mashore, Yashin, Pisbadil, White Birch, Adelaide River, Alex Andropoulos, Harbour Wind, The Prairie, Valiant King, Young Ireland, and Azazat. Any strong fancies here?
Group 3. What was it? A mile 4. Who do we back?
Yashin.
Lafayette.
Nah.
8-1 each way. Lafayette in great form. I know Curragh is probably more of his track. I've no really strong opinion on this whatsoever, but I think Lafayette is in great form. He's come back on another Group 3 win. He runs. This is his level. Running style won't be a bad thing around. Leopardstown has come late and fast. I won't put anyone off having a small each way bet. Lafayette 8-9-1.
Yeah, nah, it's not a big fancy for me, but if Yashin runs on the firm ground, I'll back him again. I backed him at York, and for all the world, he looked like he didn't quite stay. I'll give him another chance. Jessie will have her horses primed to try and get a couple of winners the weekend too, so, but not a strong fancy.
Remember when Pisbadil was meant to be the next big thing?
Yeah. Sean?
Yeah, I come in at an angle here now. I could be blown up smoke tomorrow when the declarations come out, but I'm going to go on the side of Valiant King in here. He's 10-1. I'm going to go each way. I think he's a very progressive 3-year-old who's improving at a rapid rate. He was beaten first time out, and if Shane Murphy could have that right back, the result be changed around. Let's just say that. He then went on to win his maiden and went to Royal Ascot, where he ran a smasher to only go ahead down by Desert Hero, who then went on to win the Gordon and is up the top of the market for the Ledger. He then ran a cracker behind Vauban. I thought he improved again. He pulled 4.5 lengths clear of the third and only 1.5 lengths to Vauban in front of him. I thought he showed signs of improvement again and still going the right direction. The reason for this, I've gone with him, is because Middle Earth, Dave, is that the name of the horse, the same colours? Middle Earth came out last week at York, and I think he's going to be number 1 Ledger candidate, which might free up this lad to run this weekend. Hence the reason I think he could go here. And he's a big enough price at 10-1. If he's down to run, I can see that being halved easily. Of course, you have to respect Alazi. He mops up these grade 3 races, but I think he could be vulnerable over 1.5 miles. Valiant King stays very strong. If you watch the last day, he didn't give up on Vauban, chased them all the way to the line, and they pulled clear. I think if he gets Alazi off the bridle and he's asked them to go, I'd fancy him to beat him in a battle. I think 10-1 is a great price each way, and he's like Andrew's put up. Yeah, he had him 5.5 lengths in behind Nice that day. He's a good standard horse. I like to use horses like that to see how good your runs are, and I think he'll run a massive race if he's declared tomorrow morning at 10. So keen eyes will be on.
Yeah, I don't do many anti-post bets, but I have a lot of money on a lot of money on that horse for the Ledger. So I fucking hope they supplement them anyway for a start. Middle Earth for the Ledger next week.
I think if this horse is a run here, Dave, it's probably a good sign for you, because both same, I reckon they both could run in the Ledger. So if this lad's declared tomorrow, I reckon Middle Earth will definitely go.
Oh, if he runs in the ledger, I'm confident he'll win it. They need to supplement him first.
I'm sure they're not short a few pound.
I would have a few fivers anyway, I'd say. We are on to Sunday. The first one is the 255 at the Curragh, the Al Basti Equworld Dubai Flying 5 Stakes, Group 1, 5 furlongs.
Oh, well done.
A good race. Highfield Princess, 6-4 favourite. Bradsell, 3-1. Power 9-2. Boutamont, 16-1. Equality, 20-1. Moss Tucker, 20s. Antarctic, 20s. Swing Along, 20s. And 25-1 bar. A lot of them in there. Sean, you going to go with Bradsell again?
No, unfortunately, Pablo Ryan isn't with us tonight, but he's very proud of my selection here. I think there's a very muggy each way betting here, and it's taken the 5-1 on Art Power. He's a horse for course, and he absolutely loves this Curragh. He's 4 from 4 at the track, and he just runs his best races there. He goes a strong gallop, sits on that rail, and puts them to the sword, and they tend to fall away. He is up against better horses here now, and no doubt, with Bradsell and Highfield Princess. They were turned over at York, and York was only 2 weeks ago. This lad has been off for over a month. They've definitely had this in mind now, and he runs his best races here. He comes here a bit fresher. I wonder if he get to that rail, have a lead, would he break them off from the front? I find it hard to see him outside the places. I think 5-1, he's a great each way bet now.
Yeah, it's a hard one, because if Highfield Princess runs like she did at Goodwood, I think she will win. I think the track will suit her. It suited her very well last year, but she's just not going through with her effort like she did last year. She's finding one too good where she really shouldn't. And the last day, I just don't have an excuse for her being beaten by that fucking yak thing that bet her in the Nunthorpe. She should have won that race. I know some of the commentating after was like, he got 2 lengths out the gate. She should have picked him up and spat him out if she was as good as she was last year. I still don't like Bradsell. I think he runs on at the end of races and it makes him look better than he is. I think Highfield Princess should have bet him at Ascot as well. So I went with an outsider. Carl Burke won it before with Havana Gold or Havana Grey. One of the Havanas anyway at a big price. And his filly Swing Along. She won the Group 1 the back end of the year last year for €2, Cheveley Park, 6 furlong race. And since then, her form figures are not all that inspiring. But they tried to turn her into a Guineas filly, a Moyglare. She's by showcasing. She's an absolute out-and-out speedball. She was third over 7 furlongs, then last in the French Guineas, won by Blue Rose Sen. Comes back then at a massive price, 66-1, and was third to Shaq and Little Big Bear in the Commonwealth Cup. I had her each way actually that day. I had Shaq back to win and so on and so forth, but I thought she'd run a nice race. She won a Group 3 for the fillies then at York, 6 furlongs. I think 5 furlongs is going to suit her better. She's 20-25-1. I can see her bursting out the stalls and trying to go pillar to post. I think Havana Grey done the same thing. And it wouldn't be like Carl Burke to have loads of fancied horses at different festivals and then pop up with one that's completely not fancied and wins. I understand the Art Power argument as well. And he's whatever he is from the track, but he's about 0 from 10 in Group 1s and he just doesn't do it at the top level. So Swing Along each way for me. Looks like she's coming to the boil. Hope she runs a good race.
Yeah, I'm in the Art Power camp. What you just touched on there, you took on me. The Group 1 part of it would be the only kind of worry, but the course and distance thing, 4 from 4, back to every time he's ran at the Curragh. We need to remember now the weather that's in it now. There's going to be a golden highway at the Curragh, and if he gets on that,
he'll be able to lead and try stay up there.
It's going to be hard to peg him back in a course that he obviously loves. 5-1, it's a fair price, I think. The 5-1 is definitely taken into his course and distance record. If it was run anywhere else, he wouldn't be 5-1. He'd be a lot bigger. So you have to take that into consideration as well. His record in Group 1s, if you just touched on, is not great, but it's a massive plus having 4 from 4 at course and distance, and the fact he's a front runner on what usually is when the Curragh dries up is a front runner's track.
Well, if you've been watching any of the flat racing all week, it's tend to lend itself to front runners because it's rattling fast ground at the moment. It's just very hard to make up distance when it's rattling fast ground like that. Generally, if a horse does make up ground, and probably will over the weekend, you can mark up its performance. But yeah, I think there'll be a lot of front runners at the Curragh winning.
Yeah, I think that's a big plus in his camp as well. Course and distance, front runner. 5-1. I take a chance with him anyway to break his Group 1 duck. Same with what you said, Highfield Princess there. She seems to be at their plateau now. She is what she is now. She can win at group level, but she can also be not.
I think she'll be placed again, but I think something will be.
Yeah, Brasdale, I just don't like him whatsoever. I know he won a Royal Ascot, but he flatters.
I have to say, I've won these feelings about Swing Along.
He flatters to deceive. The rest of them are kind of not much of a muchness, but they won't be up to the top 3 or 4 level. But yeah, Swing Along. Yeah,
Sean knows at this stage now, from 2 years of talking to me, when I have one of these feelings, it's worth having a fiver on it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth having a fiver, 100%.
You have my fiver on our power.
We are on to the Moyglare Stud Stakes, Group 1 fillies, 7 furlongs, 325. Yalang, very, very gorgeous big filly by Frankel, trained by Aiden, 4-5, Porta Fortuna 5-1, Burst.
Get there.
Vespertilio 6-1, Fallen Angel 8-1, 8-1 bar. Some lovely fillies in here, but I think Yalang is one of the ones that will keep odds on backers very happy. Andrew.
You find it very hard to get her beat. As you said, she's everything you want in race. She looks lovely. She's getting the job done, and she's learning as she's going. She's still very green when she hits the front. Look, she's beaten the second favourite, I believe. What's the second favourite name again? It's gone out of me.
Porta Fortuna.
I have it in front of me. I think that'll be the 1-2 here again. But Yalang, who doesn't have a Lang, will be saying bye-bye to these around the Curragh. I think she'll go off a lot shorter than she is right now.
Sean.
Yeah, I'm not going to play this one. Just the fillies in this race. This can throw up. Aidan O'Brien's got a couple of beaten in this, and Dermot Wells in the last couple of years has thrown some good horses at it. I think she's well worthy being favourite. I mean, she's an expensive purchase, 1.5 million, and she's a good looker too off the front that she's a touchdown. I do think there's worthy opposition in here. Portaventura is coming back from taking on the boys in the I can't remember the name of that race, the 6 furlong race at the Curragh. She's come back in against the filly, stepped up and trip. You also have a Carl Burke horse in here, Fallen Angels, who was very good the last day. And there's a Dermot Weld horse in here, Red Viburnum. If you watch back on debut, this horse was expected to go and win, as the Benton suggested he was your favourite. Got lost all at sea and only found out how to race properly in the last final furlong and absolutely bolted home. Another stride and she was probably up. There's no betting here for me, but I think it'd be a very good race to watch.
Who was he?
Red Vibranium.
8-1.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's best price, wherever that is.
Dave likes a big filly. I like a bit of curvature. You're dead right.
Bit of cushion for the pushing. The bunda.
The bunda.
The bunda, as they call
it. Okay. 4 o'clock, the Vincent O'Brien National Stakes, Group 1, 7 furlongs for the Colts. City of Troy 4-7. Bucanero Forta 2-1. Islands in the Stream 12-1, and it's between the top 2 of the market by the betting. And again, I think God's on backers will be happy. City of Troy, to me, is the real deal. I'll fucking give up completely if this thing gets bet. Very hard to equate his form because he just batters horses, but his maiden, the third from that Jesse Harrington horse, won a Gorn today. Had him, who he bashed at Newmarket, came out and won a Goodwood. There's some other decent horses like that Diego Velasquez has entered up. His maiden has taken a couple of beatings already, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's turned over. And he looks slow to me. He looks like a stayer, but I think City of Troy has everything.
He looks something out of this world.
Yep.
It's just a total package. Whether he trains on now is another thing. You see these things, batter things at 2, and then when they come to 3-year-olds, they all catch up.
His
with him.
breeding would suggest that he'll stay on. He'll train on.
But as of right now, he looks an absolute monster. He's bashing everything. I can see him bashing everything again on Saturday. Bakura, what the hell?
Buccaneiro
Fota. I like him as well. I think he'll follow him home. And yeah, I think that'll be top 2 and Henry Longfellow, just because great name.
I'd be surprised if he runs.
I think he's miles clear of everything else. So I think City of Troy, as you said, we'll keep odds on backers, including Sean. Happy.
Sean.
Dave, you know what I'm going to do here?
State man dance.
Oh, yeah. I've been tipping away at this lad for a couple of weeks now, and I'll be definitely going back. It's still some 4 to 7 around if anyone likes an odds on show. He's a special horse in my opinion. He is top class. We seen him the first day. He went through that line like I don't know, they could barely pull him up before they got to the gate at the end, and then he went to Newmark, and we've seen the exact same again. I think he'll pick this book in there Forte up, put him on his back and still win. I think he'll spirit him out. He'll absolutely batter them. He's the odds-on shot of the weekend. There's a couple of them there. I can't see him being beat. I'll be doing my state man dance, and I'll be coming back 5 minutes later, and I'll be collecting the winnings because he's special. I think that down the route of possibly skipping Newmarket and bringing him over to the Breeders' Cup to win on the dirt. They're looking for the first horse to do it. He's bred by Justify. I think he could do it.
I just love how he's done it twice.
His best work being
if he keeps winning, like there's people obviously in the group that we're in and that follow more jumps racing, and he's the type of horse that got them excited when they were watching the flat racing. It's just like it looks like he comes off the bridle, but it's not actually that he's coming off the bridle. It's because they're not going fast enough to him, so he's just lobbing along.
He's being woken up.
Ryan wakes him up, and he's like, "Oh, okay, we're racing now." And then Ryan can't stop him anymore, and he's
done his best to kill Ryan in 2 races.
2 races,
yeah.
He went through the line so strong. It's been a very long time since I've seen a horse go through the line as strong as he did. And obviously, he's a 2-year-old, and he has to keep doing it, but it's just that. Automatic turn of foot when you're there, the 3 furlong pole, both times Ryan just went, "Come on, let's go," and he just wakes up, head goes down, and he's like a fucking rocket.
Yeah.
There's lengths put between him and the opposition, the space of a half a furlong. Like it's gone, it's rapid, it's instant.
And
he puts his head down and he's a real try. He's a massive stride on him. Like they think this Buccaneer Forte is good. I honestly would not be surprised if he wins this by 4 or 5 lengths. I'd
be expecting him to win by 4 or 5 from what I've seen so far. I think the better horses he meets and the stronger pace that he gets, the more that he'll learn to race and be better for it. And
like he's so complicated too.
He's a superbly good looking horse as well. He's a bit of flashy kind of colouring to him as well. A bit of a grey tail and stuff. So he's just good for racing because he'd get people excited if he keeps winning the way he was winning. So last one then of the weekend, and we'll give some naps and next best. Our selections for the Lucky 15 will be up Friday because we need to get in contact with Tom. We'll get him on the phone at some stage, get him off the wine.
Pablo. Tom, yeah.
4:35 at the Curragh. It's the Irish St. Ledger. The Group 1 over mile 6. Emily Dickinson's favourite 13-8. Kiprios 2-1. Hamish 3-1. Elder Eloff 4-1. Falling King is entered here as well. 12s. Yashin again here. 14s. Dawn Rising 16-1. Broom 25-1. Dawn Rising most likely won't win this, but he was absolutely stopped from winning the last day. I was fucking fuming over it.
She took my words again.
Really stopped, like. It was the most obvious stop ever, and nothing ever happens about it, like. Here, you're going to win. No, not yet. Not yet. It's not September. You're not meant to win till September. Any selection?
Emily Dickinson, not on this ground. Not a hope in hell on this ground. It's going to be rattling quick. She's going to be caught for toe. It's all revolves around how fit Kiprios is. It's just plain and simple. If he's 90% fit, he wins this doing a moonwalk over the line. Plain and simple. You can rule out Hamish with the ground. You can rule out rule out Emily Dickinson with the ground. I know she's 13A favourite and all that jazz. Her best performance by a country mile is on soft ground. And it's going to be good to firm. There's not an ounce of rain anywhere near us for the next
Doesn't seem to be anyway, and it's very warm at the moment. So
I'm roasting in here, and
Yeah,
there's
it's lovely though.
There's weather warnings, heat warnings.
I'd never complained about the sun. It's beautiful.
It is. I give Dawn Rising a chance at 16-1.
Well, if you stopped the last day,
That's what I'm thinking. It's not what I'm thinking about, but there's so many question marks about the top. You've Emily Dickinson, who has big question marks for goes good to form. You've Kyprios. How fit's he going to be? Is this is Harley his main target? Is probably France and Longchamp and
the Stairs race at British Champions Day.
I reckon this is going to be a prep race. He'd probably be beaten. Hamish, another one who's dependent on soft ground. Eldorado or Elroth.
Not good enough.
Not good enough. Don't like him. You have Broom, who's Broom. He's just not good. Yashin is, you don't know. Valiant King, is he going to run here? You're left with Dawn Rising. You know he's going to stay. He won the Royal Ascot Stakes. He was stopped the last day. He's going to be out there to win. I think the price is massive if he's still 16 or whatever it is, 14, 16 to 1. I think he has a great chance. You know he's going to stay. He'll go on the ground. With the question marks around the rest of him, I think he's a great bet. I think Dawn Rising is a great bet here at 16 to 1.
Yep. Dawn Rising each way. If you ever want to watch a race where they didn't want the horse to win, watch his race the last day. He hadn't run since Royal Ascot, 2 months off. Could claim he wasn't fit enough and didn't go through with it, but he could have won that race. Bigger targets await. I would say he'll be backed each way anyway. A lot of question marks about the top. Kyprios is miles better than the other ones, but whether he's fit enough, and he's notoriously lazy, so very hard to get that horse fit, I'd say, on the gallops at home, especially after being injured. And he's a big, fat, I couldn't even call him muscly because he's not. He's just a big gross horse. Lovely horse. And
bulldozer.
He battles and battles. And if he's fit enough, he'll win. But whether he is or not, hate Emily Dickinson. Absolutely hate her. But she needs soft ground. Hamish is what he is, but is better on soft ground. So you're left with Dawn Rising each way. Sean?
Yeah, I take the same approach you use. I think Emily Dickinson, you can put a line through her. She doesn't run anywhere near her best when the ground, and it's definitely going to be good to firm for anyone who's looking to know, because it's like 26 degrees, I think, was you over the week, and we're supposed to due rain tomorrow, and I think it's disappeared. So it's definitely going to be good to firm. Kyprios, like, they nearly lost him. It was a bad injury where he got, and they nearly lost him. I don't think he'd be revved up to his best there. I reckon the likes of a Cadran and the Ascot race where you touched on will be his big game. Eldaroff just doesn't do it for me. Found out earlier on the season and hasn't got the win since. He's beaten by Giavolotto and Broom back at York. Broom's in here at 20 to 1. I wonder was he run, but my pick in here is going to be Hamish. He's a touchdown. His better runs have come on good to soft, but he did win in Melrose on good to firm ground. He was backed up here behind Kyprios last season, and they pulled him mile clear. I think he's a great bet in here at 10 to 3. With so many question marks around the others, I'd be surprised if he's not favourite on the day, to be quite honest with you. I think he'll come here, he'll travel well, and he stays. I think he'd get the better of Eldaroff in the race if them two were to be finishing, and Kyprios and Emily Dickinson are the two big question marks, the ground and fitness.
Yeah, Luke Wilson, Andrew caught the sun in Ireland. It's either he's caught the sun or his blood pressure has gone through the roof, because he's been red since fucking Sunday.
I've been out in it all the time.
I
don't tan, that's the bad thing. I don't tan.
I haven't seen Sunday, he was redder, but the sun hasn't gone away basically since Sunday.
I've been out
it's
all
lovely.
day.
Naps and next best, Andrew.
Nap is Buckaroo. Next best, I'm going to go Dawn Rising each way.
My nap is actually Buckaroo as well. I think this is a really good chance for him to get a statement kind of win. And like I said, majority of the trainers are all out for winning race this weekend. Joseph has a good record this weekend as well. Next best is the Carlburg filly, Swing Along. He's done it a few times, sent horses over at big prices and won. I I just have one of these sneaking suspicions that she's going to run very, very well from the front. Sean.
Yeah, my nap is going to be Buckaroo without as well. My next best will be Valiant King if he runs in that 1 mile 4 race at Leopardstown on Saturday, 4:30. He's 10 to 1
Very
each
good.
way.
We will be back on Sunday and we'll go over all the racing. I know it's on Sunday as well, but we'll do our review show on Sunday with the races. Then we'll get some scheduling up regards our horses to follow. And like I said, Tom is not here. God only knows when he comes back, because when he comes back, he'll end up sick and then he'll miss another show. So that's just generally what happens. But we will do our horse to follow, and Tom can catch up on that. We also have our third session of Flop or Not. And then the racing just keeps kicking on from there on in. Lots going on. Arc weekend, British Champions weekend, the Ledger next week. What else do we have? Then we have Cheltenham in October, and Chepstow and all that is coming thick and fast. So we are back in business basically. Shows every week from here on in. All those that are going to the golf, please tag us and tag Glistian events. I hope you have a good day out. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's people going every day. The tickets were sent out today.
Bring sunscreen. You'll end up like me if you don't.
Any fancy in the golf?
I didn't really look at a betting, but I'll have a bet tonight before it kicks off in the morning.
Sean, any fancy in the golf?
I'll just go Ginger Joe. Whatever he's putting up.
Rory McIlroy, I haven't a fucking clue.
7-2 for a golfer to win a golf tour. That's ridiculous.
Is he? I haven't a clue. I wouldn't know.
Again, if people don't follow Ginger Joe, good at the horses, but the golf I think is his main game. He's very good. You could just follow him on Twitter there. He puts the selections up. He has 5 up, because I was looking at them earlier. 5 up for this weekend. I think they're all 40s and above. So they're big each way bets, and his strike rate is just phenomenal in the golf. I don't know, it's a very hard thing to get back winners in, but he seems to do it. Please leave our comments, like and subscribe. Do the usual. I had something else to say there.
If anyone wants a picture, probably not many, but see you about. Don't be afraid to come over and say hello.
Who wants a picture?
Sean's signing autographs and getting pictures and all that. I will actually.
We had a great response. I was out there on the student day. It feels great after coming back in the day of the races when you see so many of the fans come up to you. It's
it's actually lovely. When Sean was in Waterford, we were in Alfie's, and just that's our local. Like, majority of people know us, but there was a fella in there that wouldn't regularly be in there, and he bought us all a drink. He watched the podcast, so it's lovely to be able to do that, and the different demographics from young people at student race days to 80-year-old males and females that have a laugh and a giggle at the goings on of us. And I had remembered what I was going to say, and now I forgot it again. Oh man, it's gone now.
Something about horses.
Well, obviously it's a horse racing podcast.
We were talking about
a guarantee from you.
I have.
There we go.
No, this is something else. I have an NFL division teams put up, so I'll throw that up on Twitter, and Andrew's going to add it to the website on Sunday, but I'll throw up maybe 2 bets on the Sunday that I think have a good chance. I can't give them to you Saturday. I won't know who's playing. I have to wait till the lineups are out, or the possible lineups are out.
Okay. Sunday it is.
I usually don't do my NFL bets. If anybody does them and does them early, you're better off waiting, especially prop bets like bet builders and stuff like you do in the football, till you know for sure who's playing and stuff, and you can the betting will change accordingly because of that, and the handicaps will as well. So leave it kind of as late as possible, 5 or 4 o'clock on a Sunday evening before it starts at 6. I'll put a big bet up, maybe something that's over 10 to 1, and a smaller one, because I know I always send one about 2 to 1 to Sean, and we have a good we've a good rapport with getting them to land, so that might not be for everybody, but 2 to 1 winners are 2 to 1 winners.
Never send it to me.
Money's money.
I do.
Patrick Mahomes is playing.
Patrick Mahomes is playing tomorrow against the Lions. They should win, but it's on the middle of the night. Won't be watching that.
Like 10:30.
No, fucking 1:30 to 4:30.
Why are you on so long?
Travis Kelce is injured though. The main weapon from Patrick
is he?
Mahomes. Yeah, but you probably get a better price on the Chiefs now. They won't lose. So. Getting their Super Bowl rings, they won't lose.
That Kelty fella's nearly as old as you, and he's still fucking class.
He's unbelievable. Please stop mentioning Fernie Hollow in the comments. Honestly, I can't cope with this anymore.
Yeah, cuddle him. Cuddle him.
That's about as real as Fernie Hollow is.
I can't wait to wear my racing pins at the races.
On that note, we will leave you be. Actually, I remember what I was going to say. I will give everybody an update on the Pimlico horses Sunday. I'll ask Tom for an update. We'll get a voice note or something in because we haven't had an update in a few weeks about the Pimlico horses.
As far as I say, as far as I know, it's looking like the soft might be running on Wednesday. The rescheduled Tramore meeting that soft was meant to run on the festival has been rescheduled for Wednesday.
But that means we'll have to go because Tom's on holidays. So we'll be like the syndicate people.
Oh, we're going to be Pimlico princesses.
Well, we'll find out that.
You'll have to bring me because my car's going in to get this thingy done.
I can do that. I'll find out that and we'll get that going on Sunday as well. Please leave our selections underneath. Even throw in a Trixie or Lucky 15, see how you do. And happy gambling and have a great weekend. Sean's at Leopardstown. Come say hello.
You only charge a £5 per photo.